Did you see that Rob DeMello commented on our first video?
Yeah, that was awesome. Do you think he'd let us open our show the same way he does his?
I'm sure he wouldn't mind. We're pretty much best friends now. How's it going, everybody?
This is The Road to the Ship, a Pro City High School and ESPN Honolulu collaboration.
We saw an exciting semifinal round of the HHSAA football state tournament this weekend and are excited to recap all the action. I'm Bobby Best.
And I'm Mia Ha-Rozewski. Before we jump into the Kahuku versus Campbell game, we want to thank some sponsors to help to make this possible. HonorBox Chiropractic,
M. Dyer Global,
Zephyr Insurance,
Pro City Shopping Center,
and the Hawaii Army National Guard.
We start with the open division matchups on Friday. If you're the Kahuku Red Raiders, one thing you've got to be thankful for this Thanksgiving season is your defense. Against the explosive Campbell offense that averaged about 39 points per game, the Red Raiders came up with 4 interceptions, 3 of which were pick sixes. Kahuku, the Open Division OIA champions, were held to just 146 offensive yards and scored their lone offensive touchdown in the first quarter on a 30-yard touchdown from Kingsley Ayu, followed by a 2-point conversion. The 2021 Open Division state champions will have a chance to defend their title. And now to take a look at who Kahuku will be playing, we move on to Punahou versus Mililani.
On their home turf, the Trojans added to the scoreboard first. Following an interception from Mililani's Ezekiel Rodriguez, who, by the way, plays with a wrapped arm, the Trojans settled for a 25-yard field goal. On the ensuing drives, Punahou rallied behind their star running back Alai Williams, who leads the Open Division with 984 rushing yards this season. He rushed for 237 yards and 4 touchdowns, a state tournament record. The Trojans caught the Buff and Blue on their heels twice with an 87-yard touchdown to Raymond Roller and a 59-yard touchdown to Onosai Salaona, but the Punahou offense had an answer for each Trojan score. Punahou will head to the state championship game for the first time since 2014 and will face Kahuku on Friday, November 25th at the John Kahuku Stadium at Mililani High School.
At the Division I level, the defending state champions, the ʻIolani Raiders, who have not lost in 20 games, face the Waipahu Marauders, who are coming off that epic comeback game against Kapa'a last weekend. Throughout the game, ʻIolani searched for an answer for Waipahu's quarterback Liatama U'iliata, who overwhelmed the Raider defense with his evasiveness and playmaking ability. U'iliata was just 10 for 22, passing for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he also rushed 22 times for 199 yards and 2 touchdowns, a Lamar Jackson type of performance. We caught a glimpse of the speed from ʻIolani's running back, Kea'o Kava'akoa, as he ran for this 46-yard TD, but the lone touchdown would not be enough to beat the Hot Marauders team.
Rounding out the Division I semifinal games, Aiea traveled to Konawaena to face the Wildcats, a team who had beaten their opponents by an average of about 60 points throughout their season. Aiea had scored first in each of the first 3 quarters and held a 24-17 lead heading into the last 12 minutes of play. With 5 minutes and 30 seconds left, Konawaena tied the game on a 7-yard pass from Keoki Alani to Zedekiah Anahu Ambrosio. The Wildcats got the ball back late in the 4th and set up a 20-yard field goal for their kicker, Nakoa Ige. Ige drilled the field goal with no time left on the clock and punched the Wildcats' ticket to the state championship game.
Coming off a convincing win against Pac-5, the Nanakuli Golden Hawks looked like a different team against the number 1 seed, King Kekaulike. Coming into this game, the Na'ali'i rushed over 80% of the time. The run-heavy offense stayed on brand as they fed the ball to their elite running backs, Kalele Pono Wong and Tyson Zacchaeus, who are both in the top 5 for rushing yards among all the Division II schools. Zacchaeus scored the Na'ali'i's 3rd touchdown late in the 2nd quarter to make the score 20-0. A scoreless second half advances King Kekaulike to the state championship for the first time since 2006.
We finished our semi-final rounds of high school football at Honokaʻa, where the Dragons were held scoreless by the visiting Waimea Menehunes. Waimea opened the game with a steady 68-yard drive, which consisted of 14 run plays. Last week, we saw Akai Imayo dominate the run game, but this week we saw Kaili Arakaki, who finds the edge for the 14-yard touchdown. The strong Waimea defense prevented Honokaʻa's quarterback, Elijah Kaupu-Alip, from escaping outside the pocket as he was sacked a couple of times. The Menehune defense intercepted Kaupu-Alip 3 times. Late in the fourth, Arakaki breaks the tackle and turns on the Afterburners to score on a 40-yard touchdown to help seal the win for Waimea, 17-0. They will face Kekaulike for the Division II championship on Saturday, November 26th at John Kawinana Stadium. Up next, championship weekend!
No, up next is a delicious Thanksgiving meal.
Okay, and then championship weekend.
Shoots!
Once again, mahalo to our sponsors, Honor Box Chiropractic,
M. Dyer Global,
Zephyr Insurance,
Pro City Shopping Center,
and the Hawaii Army National Guard.
I'm Bobby Best.
And I'm Mia Ha-Rozewski. You've been watching Road to the Ship.
Have a safe and fun Thanksgiving. Until next week, a hui ho!